Good morning, everyone. Today I'd like to talk about AI, artificial intelligence, and the pros and the cons that come along with it. So, we all know that it's here to stay, pretty much. It's become more and more integrated in our society, just like the internet was, just like any other technology. And like most technologies, especially with older people, I consider myself older, becomes harder and harder to adjust to change. We get set in our ways that we're used to doing things, and then along comes this technology and disrupts everything, and now we have to kind of relearn everything that we once knew, and probably find a different way to do it. So, with that said, when it comes to AI, like anything else, pretty much it has its pros and its cons. It has good things about it, and it's got bad things about it. The good things about it is, it can save people a lot of time when it comes to writing or to creating videos, or well, in a lot of cases now, it's helping corporations with doing work. It's replacing us for uh, robots, basically, which if you ask most people on the street, it's not really a good thing. Yeah, it's great for the corporations. Yeah, there's less people they have to pay. But on the flip side, what is it doing for humanity? Um, it's it's given us more competition than we ever had, really. Um, we, before, we were just competing with other human beings. Well, now, not only do we have to compete with other human beings, we have to compete with these robots that think they're smarter than us. And that kind of infuriates me more than anything. Is I'm going to type a message, a text message, and 9 times out of 10, if I don't stop and read everything again, it changes one or two or three of my words. And there's been times where I've even gone back, and especially in a text, and I'm like, this stupid AI, it said this, and this, and then it changes it again. So I constantly have to keep on it, and make sure that what I'm typing is what it's actually going to the receiver. Um, but it's one of those things. Yesterday I had a huge incident where it just pissed me off to no end. So I had to reset my email password, and I know anybody who's used a phone or a computer in the last few years have come across the message where you have to prove that you're not a robot. So, all right. So that's 15 minutes out of my day that shot to hell because I had to prove that I'm not a robot. So here's what happened. I had the first one, and then they give you these puzzles that are can be kind of intricate, and you don't know what kind of pattern it's showing. And with me, I have to wear readers now. If I don't have my readers, good luck. Trying to find what it's looking for. Okay, so I found out yesterday that if you fail 4 times, it gives you 5 different tests you have to take in order to just retrieve what you're trying to get to. So I found that out the hard way yesterday. As I went 1, then 2, I said, nope, that's wrong. Do it again. Then I had to prove 3 times, and then I had to prove 4 times. Then I finally had to prove 5 times. I had to get all 5 correct to prove that I'm a human. Now, I don't know about you guys, but that's 15 minutes that I could have spent doing a million other things that would have been worth my while. And that's just one of the frustrations. And on the flip side, one of the things that I've researched that people are talking about is here in the not too distant future, probably the next 5, maybe not even 5 years, I don't think. We're going to have AI is basically going to be like a virtual secretary. So let's say you're walking down the beach. I'm trying to make it the best case scenario. Walking down the beach, and you realize you have to make an appointment for, let's say, an oil change. So you basically communicate with your virtual assistant. Your virtual assistant then will not only book the appointment, but will scour the competition or whatever, find you the best rate, the best day, the best time of when you can go get that done. I mean, that's a huge benefit, or will be, in the future. And one of the things that one of the leading jobs that's going to be here in the near future, if not now already, is companies are looking for people who can train these AI agents, because at some point it's going to be like an app. At some point, people are going to have, people have apps today for everything. Well, they're going to have AI agents that are going to be doing everything pretty much for them. Which again, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Because eventually, if we let AI do its thing, then where's room for us? The real people. Where's our value come from? And of course, going back to my situation with the unemployment and everything, that's just one more obstacle that I have to overcome now. Because in submitting my resume, I have to combat all these AI agents, that more or less look over my resume. So 9 times out of 10, your resume is probably not going to a human being. First of all, it's going through 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 robots, checking different words and stuff. And then it's a catch-22, because then if an employer or whoever realizes that you're using AI for your resume or your application, that can flag you. So it's like, what gives? It's just really frustrating. And again, it's got its pros and its cons. I used AI to, like I said before, to create my first quote ebook. I've heard that they can do well, if you market it right and you get the traffic, going there and everything and all. But at some point, things are getting so saturated with artificial intelligence that one of the reasons I developed this channel is to be real, to give the world someone who is going to be real with them, not fake. I don't have the best lighting here, obviously. I'm just a somebody on here, trying to share information. So I really believe that's because I've heard it from people, and I myself crave it. I crave realism. I crave people who are genuine, people who don't try to sugarcoat anything, people who say things like it is, and tells the truth. I would rather, I've told people this many times, I would rather hear the truth, as uncomfortable as it is, than to hear lies doctored up, to be what I want to hear, because, okay, let's say, for example, you go to a doctor diagnoses you. Would you want them to tell you the truth if you have cancer, or would you want them to sugarcoat it or lie to you and say, no, man, you're fine, you're going your way, and then you end up, plinking the next however long. As uncomfortable as the truth is, it needs to be heard. And with artificial intelligence and all, we're still pretty much in our infancy with it. I kind of consider artificial intelligence and cryptocurrency kind of in the same league, as far as adoption, as far as widespread. In fact, I think artificial intelligence probably has a head start on crypto in that regard. I think it's definitely being adopted faster and spreading faster, which I would rather crypto, speed up too, because I've got interest in that as well. But going back to the topic, I think that cryptocurrency, or I think that that AI is it's here to stay, whether we like it or not. And I think the quicker we can adapt to that, the better off we're all going to be. I said before, I said that in a previous video that at some point the system is going to have to allocate some type of universal income for people to survive, because things that are happening the way they're as fast as they're happening today is unsustainable. Something's going to have to give, and what that is, I don't know. But I do know that for whether it be good or bad, AI is here to stay. And I guess for us, the best thing that we can do is to, like any other technology, adapt to it the best that we can. Try to glean from it the good things, and not the bad things. Elon Musk, he's talked about it a lot, and if we're not careful, it can definitely become a detriment to humanity. So that's some ways to be careful of. So that's my 2 cents. Let me know what you think. I ask everyone in every video to share and subscribe, especially if they like the content. I want to be real with everybody, and that's not always easy. It takes a vulnerability to do that, but I owe that to my fellow brother and sister in Christ, to be real, to what you see is what you get with me, and just let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear them. And if there's anything any topics that you want discussed, please feel free to reach out, and I will definitely read my comments and respond accordingly. So thank you guys. God bless.